Alex primed for huge clay court swing after Miami Open exploits. Eala has one of the biggest breakout stars of the WTA Tour in 2025. Thanks to her stunning Miami Open run, the 19-year-old beat both Madison and Iga Swiatek to reach the last four of the WTA 1000 event and broke into the top 100 of the WTA rankings as a result. Having initially soared to a new high of World No. 75, Eala has now moved up a further 2 places to World No. 73, despite not even playing last week. However, the Filipina is set for an imminent return to action and looks primed for a significant run of tournaments this upcoming clay swing. Eala's clay court season will begin at WTA 125 level at the Soared Open, held next week in the Portuguese coastal town. The 19-year-old made her debut at the event in 2024, losing 2-6, 6-4, 6-4 to Julia Evdiva in the opening round 12 months ago. There is a total prize money package of $168,100 across the 32-player draw. After action in Soared, Eala is then set to return to the Madrid Open, one of the most significant events of her career so far. It was in Madrid a year ago that she won a match at WTA 1000 level for the first time, beating Liza Tsurenko in round 1 before a 3-set defeat to 27th seed Sorana Cîrstea. Eala had received a wildcard into the main draw the past 2 years, thanks to the tournament being owned by ING, the same group that manages her and owns the Miami Open. The Filipina star was not quite ranked high enough to enter the main draw by right, but will likely receive a wildcard once again this year or compete in the qualifying draw. Should Eala fail to qualify for the main draw in Madrid or lose in the early stages in the main draw, she will not rest on her laurels, but instead head to the Catalonia Open in Vic. It would be the 19-year-old's debut at the Catalonia Open, having not played the 2023 event in Reus or the 2024 event in Lleida. Much like Soared, this is a WTA 125 event, the level directly below the WTA main draw. Once action in Madrid and Vic is complete, Eala is then set to make her debut appearance at the Italian Open in Rome. The WTA 1000 title is one of the biggest tournaments of the year and is perhaps the most prestigious women's event on clay outside of Roland Garros. Eala has never even contested qualifying in Rome before, but looks set to potentially do just that in 2025. The World No. 73 has narrowly missed out on a main draw place and is currently set to be among the top seeds in qualifying, though a main draw wildcard is again a possibility. Similarly to Madrid, the teen star could play a WTA 125 event during the second week of the WTA 1000 should she lose early or fail to qualify. Eala is currently expected to play at the Palma Ladies Open, which will be held from 12 to 18 May. It will be her debut at the event, which was initially launched as a WTA 250 event in 2021 before being downgraded 2 years later. Perhaps most exciting for Eala is the fact that she is now set to make her Grand Slam debut at the 2025 French Open. Having soared inside the top 100 following Miami, the 19-year-old is well inside the entry cutoff for Roland Garros, with the main draw set to start 2 days after her 20th birthday. Eala was beaten in the final round of Roland Garros qualifying by Julia Riera in 2024 and has lost in Grand Slam qualifying in all 6 of her attempts. However, with the Filipina comfortably inside the top 100, she is set to feature on the French Open entry list when it is released later this month. At just 18 years old, Eala is no stranger to the spotlight. A rising star from the Philippines, she's been steadily carving her name into the fabric of women's tennis with poise, grit, and a game that blends baseline power with fluid court coverage. Following her spirited performance at the 2025 Miami Open, all signs point to something potentially bigger, a breakout clay court season that could redefine her trajectory. Miami wasn't just another tournament for Eala. It was a statement. Facing a stacked field that included seasoned veterans and hungry rising stars, Eala showed that she could not only hang with the best, but push them to their limits. She powered through the qualifying rounds with her usual tenacity, then turned heads in the main draw with her resilience and growing tactical maturity. Her footwork, always one of her strong suits, danced in rhythm with a newfound confidence, one built on experience and the quiet fire of knowing she belongs. Though she didn't walk away with the trophy, Eala left Miami with something arguably more valuable: belief. Clay courts, the great equalizer. The transition from hard courts to clay is no small feat. The red dirt of Europe demands more than just power. It demands patience, strategy, and adaptability. For many, it's a surface of frustration. For Eala, it might just be a playground. Here's why. Eala's game is built on movement and variety. She's not a one-dimensional slugger who lives and dies by the first serve. She constructs points with care, comfortable grinding from the baseline, and just as willing to pull the trigger when the opportunity arises. On clay, this kind of balance is lethal. Her natural left-handed spin, especially on the forehand side, creates tricky angles and heavy balls that push opponents wide, a recipe for dominance on slower surfaces. And let's not forget her junior resume. Eala is no stranger to clay success. She made waves at the Junior French Open and trained at the Rafa Naval Academy, a clay court crucible that has shaped some of the grittiest champions in the game. She knows what it takes to win on the dirt, and more importantly, she enjoys the challenge. The road ahead, with the European clay season looming, including marquee stops in Madrid, Rome, and of course, Roland Garros. Eala enters with momentum and a point to prove. In Madrid, the higher altitude and quicker clay will test her adaptability. It's a tournament where aggressive players can thrive, but Eala's balance between offense and defense gives her an edge. If she continues to serve smart and return deep, she'll be a tough out. Rome, slower and more traditional in its clay nature, could suit her even better. The longer rallies and need for consistency match her style, and with every match, she gains something that no coach can teach: experience. And then there's Paris. The French Open is more than just a Grand Slam. It's a battlefield where legends are forged. If Eala can string together solid results leading up to it, there's every reason to believe she could make a deep run. She has the game. She has the heart. Now she just needs the moment. A star beyond the surface. What makes Eala's story so compelling isn't just her tennis. It's what she represents. She's a pioneer, carrying the hopes of a tennis-hungry nation on her shoulders with humility and joy. Each match she plays, each rally she wins, inspires a new generation of Filipino athletes to dream big and work harder. Her journey through the Miami Open, against higher-ranked players and under the bright lights, showed a maturity beyond her years. Her interviews revealed not only her intelligence, but her awareness of the bigger picture. She's not chasing results for the sake of rankings, she's chasing growth. And that mindset might just be her greatest weapon on clay, a surface that rewards those who embrace the long haul. Final thoughts. Clay season is no easy ride. It's a grind. It exposes weaknesses, demands evolution, and asks players to dig deep, not just into the court, but into themselves. For Eala, that's not a problem. It's an invitation. She's come through the fire of the Miami Open sharper, more confident, and ready to take the next leap. With her all-court game, mental strength, and the backing of a country behind her, the clay swing of 2025 might just be the stage where she announces her arrival to the world, not as a future star, but as one who's already here. Let the clay fly.